Hello, good evening. Yes, you are welcome. You are welcome. Okay. Yes, you're welcome to another edition of Community Footprints. This is our fourth edition. Thank you for coming on. Bisi Ajala, good evening to you. You are welcome. Those of you who have stayed put with us all through all the editions, thank you very, very much. We are here live on Community Footprint. Is our fourth edition this week, and we have some exciting and real good time to share tonight. I hope you are all joining in. Let somebody know to join in with us. Community Footprint is a platform where we share the rich, exciting treasures of our community life. Kemzi, it's good to have you. Thank you very much for joining in today again. Those are the regulars. Yes, appreciate you all for turning up again this evening. Yes, Community Footprint is now live on our Instagram, and we're going to be having an exciting period where we are looking at the subject of relationship, marriage, and family. And we're going to be having no other person like we're going to have tonight, Reverend Dr. Albert Oduwole, presently in Toronto, Canada. He'll be joining us live not too long from now. Let's just get some other people to join us at this time. I hope you have had a fantastic day. The weather is brilliant. So I had some people are already in winter. Ooh, I don't know how that is happening at this time, but we are so grateful to God. The weather here is phenomenal. It's amazing. Wow. Yes, you're welcome. Yes. Dupsy, you're coming. Oh, Dr. Shola Oduwole from Cape Town, South Africa. You have my wave. Thank you so much. Whoa, thank you for joining in. Amazing time we're going to have tonight. Is a wonderful time for us to join in. This is the fourth edition of Community Footprint. And what we do on this occasion, on this platform, is to share the beautiful, amazing, rich treasure that we have in our community life. Some of those things, we underestimate them. Diabelo Aderemi Shoyebo, good to have you on board. Thank you so much for joining in this evening. It's another beautiful time for us to go along and just share beautiful experiences together. Community Footprint, we use this time to experience the beautiful experience that we have in our community that we overlook sometimes, but those are the things that has kept us together. Chidiokwe and Chidiokweguna, it's good to have you on board. Thank you. From wherever you are joining in, Jidiola, good to have you. Kingsborough, it's good to have you. Dawarank, thank you for joining in again tonight. Those are the regulars. We appreciate you all. We're going to have a beautiful time this evening. Our guest tonight, you will be amazed. Oh, I can see you, Dr. Albert. Yes. I know you are already on. If you send me a request, Dr. Albert, I can get you to join us from Canada, Toronto, where you are. You just press send request, and I can get you to join me on the screen live from where you are. Pastor Carl, thank you so much for coming to join us with us. Yes, I think we can have Dr. Albert anytime from now. Pastor Carl, really good to have you on board. Hey, there you go. There you go.
Good over here.
Amazing, amazing, excellent. Moshakwe, good to have you. Oh, Ochukse, good to have you. Excellent, fantastic time. Well, Reverend Albert, it's good to have you on the other side of town.
I'm excited to be here. Good to see your face.
Wow, wow. What is, I can
face.
see you in t-shirts just like I am. What's the weather like there?
Well, beautiful weather. Very
Oh,
beautiful
good,
weather.
good.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
It's a good one today.
Excellent.
Very
Excellent.
good one today.
Excellent.
Good to see you, PT.
Well, it's good to welcome you to Community Footprint. This is a platform where we take time to acknowledge and recognize some of the beautiful treasures and riches in our community that we overlook. Some of them we don't think they matter, but these are the things that have kept us all together over this time. So we want to just use this time. The topic tonight, which is not strange to you, is the subject of relationship, marriage, and family. We won't be missing it if we say you are a professional in this area, isn't it?
Thank you.
But welcome so much. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, PT, for all you do for community, because if you can strengthen our community, we will strengthen our world. So I'm excited for the things you are doing. The only way to strengthen our world is to strengthen our community. If each community is strengthened, the world becomes better.
Thank you. Okay, now for those of us who have joined in, and I know a few more people are going to be joining us tonight, let me first ask you, Dr. Albert, who is Albert Oduwole? Who is this guy? Who is this fine face, no pimples? Yes.
Well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask my wife is Albert Oduwole is my husband. If you ask my children, they will say Albert Oduwole is our father. If you ask my church, they will say it's our presiding pastor. But Albert Oduwole is a guy that believes God had called him to be an inspiration to nations, generations, congregations, and especially to his relations. I am an author of several books. I'm international conference speaker. I'm an itinerant minister. I'm a church planter, and I'm a fun guy to be around. That's what
you are a fun guy indeed.
Thank you.
Wow. Because it is just amazing. There's so many hats that you wear, and there's so many ways that you express yourself. You are indeed a delight and a joy to have a friend of the house here in Kingsborough. It's always a joy to have you with us at Kingsborough, and thank you so much for coming to Community Footprint. Now, Dr. Albert, there's no way we can separate you from your other half or your better half. Which one do you prefer?
Yeah, my better half. She's better by far.
Yes. Tonight I want to really salute the wonderful and excellent relationship that you have with Pastor Teju. In the same way that I really recognize how much you are to us. She's very dear to us as well as a family. Toyin and Toyin, who I also know I have a wonderful relationship with, and there's no way we can write the history of our lives without these wonderful people.
Thank you.
Well,
we celebrate you too.
Pastor Teju, if you're there, thank you so much. A high five to you, and we really appreciate you for the work you're doing in the life of Dr. Albert.
Yes, so if not for her, where we like.
Okay. All right. Now, the first thing I want to find out from you, Dr. Albert, is from everyone who is online tonight, who is listening to us, and who is saying, what does relationship has to do with family, with community, and also with the society? What is the what is the treasure that is in relationship? How do we break down into small bites for most people to know?
Beautiful. You see, when God made the world, the good thing about God is that He made everything in the world. It's everything He made. He said, "It is good. It is good. It is good. It is good."
Yeah.
Finally, when He made man, He said, "It's not good for man to be alone. It is not good for man to be alone. I'll make him an helper mate." So it's not good for one to be alone. One of the greatest tragedy of our days is that aloneness is one of the things that kill people the fastest. People
Ooh.
are just alone, and which is very sad and unfortunate. And unfortunately, the COVID-19 had made it more so. So people are working from home, they are ordering things from home, they are buying food from home. And when there is no relationship between two people, when there is no community, it leads to depression. So the most important thing is that for God to say, it's not good to be alone, let me create another person to create a community. So
Yeah.
relationship makes community thrive, and
Ooh.
community makes the world better. So if you can get our relationships right, then we're going to get community thriving, then we're going to get our world better. So the major thing to do is to understand how to handle our relationships, because if we can handle our relationships better, then we will be sure that then the community will thrive. Then at the end of the day, the world will be better for all of us.
So God is a God of relationship.
It's a God of relationship and the God of community. He
Wow.
said it's not good for man to be alone. Man did not say, "I needed companion." It was God that discovered
He
this
thought
man being
about it.
alone. He thought about it. It's not going to
Yeah.
work. So I'm going to give him, you know.
That's fantastic. Now, when we look at relationship and we look at marriage, what
Yes.
is the difference, or how do we connect
Beautiful.
the two together? Relationship
Beautiful.
and marriage.
Relationship is interaction between two people towards a common goal. Any interaction between two people towards a common goal.
Oh.
Marriage is a deeper dimension. Marriage is when two people now decide to enter into a covenant. So relationship is about community, but you see, marriage is about covenant. So when we move into marriage, it's a deeper level of community. So marriage, so now this is where the problem comes, Pity. A lot of people that have not handled normal relationships well, they want to enter into marriage relationship. And it's
Oh.
not going to work, because most of the time, the same law that runs normal relationship are the same foundation for a marital relationship. So if you don't get your normal relationships right, you won't get your marital relationship right. I was telling somebody last week, I was on the podcast like this,
Yes.
and I said, interestingly, Solomon said, "Don't make friends with an angry man." And we
Huh.
don't make friends with them. But unfortunately, that is talking on normal relationship. But some people, not only are they making friends with an angry man, they now went ahead to marry an angry man. Can you imagine? You know, they went ahead to marry an angry man, and they don't wonder why there is problem. So everybody must learn the basics of relationship. That is
Yes.
where community comes in, PT. If there
Yes.
is a good family background where relationship has been taught, that will have equipped people to undo marriage right. The reason why people can't undo marriage right is because they don't even have a clue how to undo normal relationships right. I'll give you
Whoa.
an example. I tell people, I say, a young man will say to a lady, "I'll be the best to you." "Oh, Dr. Oduwole, we see you. Good to have you
Yes.
here."
Yes. All the way.
"Bolu, we see you." All the way from
Absolutely.
Cape Town, all the way from Lagos.
Yes.
I tell people, a young man will say to you, "I'm going to be to you a lovely husband." But the problem with that young man is that he had never seen a lovely husband before. He didn't grow up in a good family community where he'd seen his father as a good husband. Then the lady
Yes.
will say, "I'll be to you the best wife you have ever seen." But the lady had never been in a community where she had observed a good wife. The mom was not one, the auntie was not one, the neighbor was not one. So she does not even know what a good wife is. How do you solve a mathematics without an example? How do you solve an equation when there is no example to see? That is the problem most of the time. So community needs to work for marriage to even work. If you don't get our community right, so somebody said, "You are not just raising yourself a son, you are raising somebody's husband.
Mm.
You are not
Mm.
just raising a daughter, you are raising somebody's wife." So it's
Wife.
very important for us to handle relationship well. And thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for bringing this up. Thank you for your church is open. I come, I teach relationship very freely. And what that does is that it makes a lot of people to have an awareness of how to run community well. And once they run community well, everything works well.
So we are indeed a product of the home we grew in and the community where we came from.
Yes, you see, now this is the thing for us, especially from the African community. There are some things we got right. There are some things we got wrong in our foundation. Unfortunately, the things we got wrong, we have made them worse. The ones we got right, we have lost them. For example, in those days when somebody wants to marry, the parents will not only look at the guy, they send a mystery to go and find out about his family and his community.
Secret Service.
Secret Service. Go check out his family. Go check out his community. Go check out our family. Go check out our community to be sure that if you give in to these people, because community forms a man. Every man is formed by his community. But unfortunately, as time goes on, we lost that. Another thing we had going for us is the fact that we Africans normally says it takes a village to raise a child.
True. Yeah.
It takes a village to raise a child. When you and I were young, Pity, if anybody caught us smoking, they don't need to be our parents. They will beat us home. When they will take us home, our parents will thank them for beating us very well. In fact, if a neighbor comes to report you, that see what Femi had done, my parents will say, and you are coming to report. You should have beaten him before you get here.
Oh dear.
In Africa, it took a community to raise each one and every one of us. Unfortunately, we've gone independent with the Western world, in which nobody cares any longer. And thank God for what you're doing, because we need to go back and strengthen our community, because that is the only way our future can be brighter.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Albert. Now, let's return to the subject of COVID-19 and this lockdown.
Yes, sir.
It is, I mean, should we say, COVID-19 or coronavirus and the lockdown, is it a blessing to marriage, relationship, and family, or is it a curse?
Okay, it's neither a blessing nor a curse. It's a revealer of secrets. That is what it is. You see, it's a revealer of three secrets. Number one, it's a revealer of indiscipline secret. Dr. K from Chicago, we see you. Thank you for being here. Dr. Kayode Jisheson, my good friend and best man from Chicago.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so this is the thing, pity. It's a revealer of secret. Some people told me before, if not I'm busy, I want to teach my daughter to cook. If not I'm busy, I want to teach my son how to do barbecue. If not I'm busy, I want to write a book. Lockdown happened. You have not written the book. You have not taught your daughter how to cook. You've not taught your son how to do barbecue. So COVID-19, the lockdown had revealed the secret that your problem had not been lack of time. Your problem had been lack of discipline.
Lack of discipline.
Lack of discipline. Number two, for two people that are together in what they think is a relationship, but it's not a relationship, because you see, the way God made the world, we have 24 hours every day. And you see that 24 hours is divided into three. The first 8 hours is for sleeping. The second 8 hours is for working. The last 8 hours, that one we used to eat, we used to make love to our wife, we used to play with our children, we used to do homework. That is how we structure 24 hours. But now at lockdown, you now have 24 hours with your spouse. 24/7. 24/7. Before, if your wife offends you, you pick the key of your car, you drive to the club, or you go. But now there is nowhere to go. So COVID-19 and the lockdown had come to reveal a secret that a lot of marriages are not as strong as they think they are. You know what the police said? The police said during the lockdown, every crime went down. Stealing went down. Armed robbery went down. The only crime that increased, the only one that increased during the lockdown is domestic abuse.
Domestic violence.
So
where do you run to?
Where do you run to? So it came to reveal what had been before. So it will go both ways. I have lawyer friends that told me during the lockdown, several people are calling them, look, I want to divorce my wife. And the lawyer was like, wait, no, I'm done. So for some marriages, it will lead to disintegration. For some, it will strengthen them. I am not, my wife is in Nigeria, I'm here, but yet we have been strengthened more. We talk online, we bond together, we even do devotional. You see, it's a great world. You know, I talk to my children, I see them every day. We do devotional, we do assignment online. So you see, it is not the lockdown that is a problem. It is not the lockdown that is a problem. The lockdown has just revealed there is a problem.
Yeah. So I mean, Dr. Albert, you just said something that is so instructive now. You are saying that relationship doesn't have to be physical in that sense.
It does not
You
need to
are in
be.
Canada, your wife is in Nigeria, the family, and you have been bonding together even then.
I've spent 1.5 hours today talking to my wife, talking to my daughters, talking to my son. Yesterday was my daughter's 21st birthday. Yesterday was my daughter's 21st birthday. From here, I arranged for our own mentor, musical mentor, to do a recording that I sent to her. I was part of the celebration. She did an hour worship service online. I was part of the celebration. So there is no reason, no excuse for us not to keep community in this season. That where I'm not, you are in London, I'm in Toronto, Canada. We are talking one-on-one. I'm seeing your face, you are seeing my face. So you see, there is no more excuse for us not to keep community. These are not the olden days. So it's just your intention now. If you want it to work, you better keep community, even online.
Wow. Okay, now, we have gained a lot from what you have said. We have gained a lot in reestablishing families, relationship, and marriages during this COVID-19 lockdown. Now, how can we take that? Now, it's been relaxed now. We're going to be going out. Some people are going back to work. Children are going back to school. How do we make sure that we don't lose this momentum?
Beautiful.
What should families do? What should husband and wife do?
I did a series on YouTube. It's on my YouTube page for ministers. And it applies to also families, and it applies to each an individual. And the key thing I said that there, in a nutshell, is that we need to redefine normal. What we thought was normal before was not even normal. So there is a new normal now.
It was abnormal.
It was abnormal.
Yes.
So there is a new normal now. People will have to get used to working from home more, even when we go back to work. It will save us traffic on the road. It will save us emission on the road, in the world. It will save us wasting time. It will save us a lot. It's unfortunate that most of us, so now Google is saying that we want to employ from all over the world. You don't need to relocate. You can be in Kenya. You can be in your village. Once you have internet and you are smart, come and work for Google. So before, people, the most expensive real estate is in city center for people that don't have time to stay there. They go to work in the morning, they come back at night, not good quality of life. So we are not going back to this, and things have changed. Now, I was telling even pastors that all those protocol meetings, 6 people, that you get people to drive 10, 20, 30 kilometers to
Thank you, sir.
They won't do that again, no. You better get on Zoom or you get on WhatsApp and do your meeting there.
Yes.
I'm here, PT. I've done several meetings with my pastors, with my staff, with everybody. Normally, you've been to our cathedral, it sits 3,000 people at the fullest. When we pack the place, it sits 3,000. I did one meeting online, and 9,000 people were there from all over the world. I said to myself, I must have been stupid all the while. Because this is the way to go.
Yes.
So I'm
this
trying
is now
to
a
say,
global village.
It's not a global village. So for daddies that think they can escape assignment by saying, I'm traveling, you can't again. Your son has discovered that with WhatsApp, you can still help with assignment. You know, so for
Yes.
people that say, I've not spoken to my wife because I travel, you can't do that again. So we need to redefine normal and move into the new normal. That is very important.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, before we move away from the subject of relationship, I
Yes,
think
sir.
we should also look at the subject of people who are raising children by themselves, as single
Yes.
parents who are having challenges in how to go about this.
Mm.
What would you like to say to them, and how would you let them know how to cope in this situation?
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to say to single parents, you are the real heroes. Because when two people are together to raise children, it's not easy. Not to talk about only you raising children. But having
Mm.
said that, you need help. The world is no longer an island. Like PT just
Yes.
said, the world is now a global village. So if you have a good friend, a male, anywhere, if you're a single lady, let that male and your son have at least 30 minutes a week of talking
Mm.
online. Like if you're a
Yes.
guy, find it might be your sister, your auntie, your mom, somebody that will speak to the life of your daughter constantly because it's very
Yes.
important. You see, the voice of a man different from the voice of a woman. I normally
Mm.
joke that a mother will say to the son, "Oh, go and bring that thing. Go and bring it now." But the daddy will say, "Go bring that thing." You see, the voice is different, and we need both voices to raise children
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
very important for us to make sure that this world is not a global village. So get help, and you can get help. Two things that must be your greatest party. Number one, God must be your party in raising your children
Mm.
well. Number two, Google. Number two, Google. What Google can't do, God will do. You understand that? And what Google can do, God will not waste time trying to tell you.
Yes.
So get on
Now,
with God, get on with Google, you are sorted.
wow, wow. Get on with God, get on with Google.
Yeah,
Well, our audience, wherever it is you are joining us from, thank you so much for joining us. We are on Community Footprints, is our fourth
yeah,
edition, and we are looking at the subject of marriage, relationship, and family. And we're looking at
family.
how this has contributed immensely into our
Yeah,
community life, especially during
yeah.
this COVID-19 lockdown period.
Lockdown.
Now,
Lockdown.
Dr. Albert, I want to ask you
Yes, sir.
this when it comes to husband and wife, and we're talking about marriage, what will you encourage a
Yes,
husband
sir.
to do to make their wife the best for them, and vice versa? I'm not sure whether it's
Beautiful.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I've been
Yes.
doing a series on Instagram every Friday, 8 p.m. It's called Love Clinic.
Mm.
During Love Clinic, I said the number one problem in marriages is unmet expectations. Unmet expectation because we assume, so you can be doing a lot and the other person is not impressed because you are not meeting our expectation. For example, I
Yes.
didn't know this early in my marriage that to please my wife sometimes does not need a lot of money.
Mm.
To please my wife, just give her what she wants, not what you want.
Yes.
So I bought my wife a very beautiful, fanciful phone, and she said to me, "That is not what I want. You bought it for yourself to feel cool." Oh, yeah! Do you know how much they sell it? Do you know how much they sell it? Do you know how many people are looking for it? But it does not matter. So what I expect husband
Yeah.
and wife to do is to have a conference during this time and say to one another,
Mm.
what are your expectations?
Mm.
Because if you don't know the expectations of I'll give you an example, PT. Before I married TJ, I came out from a too structured family. My dad will ring bell to wake us up and come for prayer meeting in the morning. Then you all kneel down. Then you have a devotion. After that, you go and take your bath. Then you come to the dining table. You sit around the breakfast table. I was bored silly. I wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to watch television while I'm eating my food. It was forbidden in my house. You know, it was forbidden in my
Hey.
house. So I now, oh, network.
Yeah, it's better
Okay,
now.
are we back now?
Yeah, yeah, we're back now. We're back now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was talking about unmet expectation. So
Yes.
before I married my wife, I grew up in a structured home. My dad will ring bell to wake you up. When you wake up, you come to do prayer. From prayer, then you come and eat for breakfast. And it was too structured for me. When I went to my fiance's house, now my wife, I met the father. He was eating in front of television. He was not putting on shirt. I was very happy. Yeah, this is how I want to live. And I thought my wife growing up in an environment like that will be able to. I didn't know when she came to my house and saw us around the dinner table. She said, yes, this is how
This
I
is
want
what
to
I
live.
want.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Different Christians, and we got married. We are still sorting it out up to now, 22 years after. So what I'm trying to say is that this time should be an opportunity for husband and wife to sit down together and have a meaningful conversation.
Yes.
Husband and wife should ask one another, what is your expectation of me? What is my expectation of you? Because that is the only way you can please the other person.
Now, on the subject of communication in relationship, in marriage, and in family, how important is communication? Because on the other hand, there's something called malice. And I understand that malice is a stronghold.
Yeah. Communication is key. In fact, they asked Edwin Scott of blessed memory, they said, tell us 3 most important things about relationship. Edwin Scott said, number 1, communication. Number 2 is communication. Number 3 is communication. Those are the 3 most important things about relationship. It's about talking. So Tigger and I, we have a covenant. Our covenant is we don't keep malice. We don't. So many a times, you will see in my house, I'll say things like, Tigger, I'm very angry with you, but I'm also hungry. Though I'm angry, I'm also hungry. What will I eat? And Tigger herself will say, well, me too, I'm very mad at you, but what do you want to eat? I say, you don't know what you have done, It's very terrible, but we eat rice. Then she said, no, I'm not giving you rice. You'll be eating rice all the week. I'm not giving you rice. I said, okay, though I'm angry, but I'm hungry. Give me food. So it's our agreement. We don't stop talking. Because you see, if you keep on talking, you will get the solution to the situation. It is when you stop talking that you kill the thing. I guess what happened that made Eve to be able to get susceptible to the devil was that Adam was not talking with her.
Hey.
Because if Adam had been talking with her, he will not listen to the voice of the devil. There is a serpent in every family. If you stop talking to one another, the serpent will take over.
Whoa. Don't stop talking. I'm sure you can hear that, husband and wife, friends in relationships, families in relationships, don't stop talking. Malice is out of the question. There's no way there. It is this, you are having Dr. Albert Oduwole sharing with us this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are, whatever part of the world you are, on the subject of relationship, family, and marriage. Now, as we are going out of lockdown and beginning to embrace work, a lot of us have been away from work, away from school, and then we're not going to be seeing people we haven't seen for a few months, a few weeks. What is the best way to make sure that we can engage or re-engage with them?
Beautiful. Number 1, before the end of the lockdown, let everybody pick their phone, send a text to your workmate. Send a text. Just ask, how are you doing? You see, a lot of people are not doing well. Somebody needs to check on them. Even at my level, I'm an international conference speaker. I pastor thousands of people. When people send me a message and say, Rev, I just want to check on you. Hope you are doing fine. That is a joy that it brings.
Amazing. You see? I agree to that.
Yeah. So if you go to work and you meet people you have not even asked, especially when you are the leader. When you are the leader, it is expected of you. Because you go back to work to meet people you have not asked after, to meet people you have not checked on their welfare, it's not going to be very smooth. So let's start before the lockdown. Let's check on one another. After the lockdown, initiate conversation.
Yes.
Initiate conversation. Ask people, don't just talk about yourself. You see, what I've discovered, PT, people say, oh, Dr. Abad is a good conversationalist. I like when I talk to him. It's a lie. It's just I make them talk. I make them talk. So
Yes.
once you make people talk, they think you are
Yes.
the one that is good at making conversation.
Uh-huh.
So when the lockdown is over, to strengthen our community, let's ask people how are they doing. And I'm not talking about abstract questions,
Yes.
direct questions. The lockdown, hope you did well. How's your finances? You see, because a problem shared is half solved. Just by
Yes.
sharing the problem with somebody, it's like half of it is already solved. And I believe that is very important.
That's remarkable. Now we cannot finish or talk over this and finish it up without looking at the subject of friendship and enmity. How do
Yes,
you make good friends, and how do you recognize somebody that somebody might count as an enemy, and what is the
yeah.
best way to relate with your enemy?
Okay, the best way to relate with your enemy is to kill them. How do you kill them? How do you kill them? You turn them to become your friend.
Yes.
Because once they become your friend, they cease to be an enemy. I want to
Absolutely.
quote the late Archbishop Benson Idahosa. Archbishop Idahosa used to say, 1 million friends, not enough. One enemy, too much. 1 million friends is not enough.
It's not enough.
One enemy is too
It's too
much.
much.
So what we should try to endeavor to do is to make our enemies become our friend. That is the whole essence of what Jesus taught. He said, if your enemy is hungry, give him food. If your enemy is thirsty, give him water. What are you doing? If your enemy says, walk within 1 mile, go 2 miles. What you are doing is that you are turning your enemy to
into
become your friend. I've met people before that said to me, I didn't like you initially, but you won me over. And that is the whole essence of Christianity and strengthening our community. It does not matter what your faith is. Whatever faith you pursue, you can make our world better by becoming closer and reducing our enemy and making them friends. And I think that's very important.
Excellent. Now, we all grow from a family, and you mentioned that earlier on. We're a product of a family, and we are also supposed to raise a family ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, how do we make sure that if there are things that went wrong in our family that we're not too happy with, how can we say that we don't repeat the same thing? Because it usually happens that what happens repeats itself in families as well.
Beautiful. There is a story of a guy in America, always in prison. He gets out, he commits another crime, they throw him back continuously.
Yes.
So one day they recommend he sees a psychologist. Then the psychologist said, why are you like this? He said, if you know the family I came from, my dad was a drunkard. My mom died. He didn't take care of my mom. He used to beat us black and blue.
Yes.
So the psychologist said, your dad used to beat us. You say your mom is dead. Who is the us? He said, my twin brother. He said, where is your twin brother now? He said, I don't know where he is. But you see, with a father like mine, what do you expect? This is what my life will be like. So the psychologist started looking for the twin brother. Check all the prisons in America, couldn't find him. Check all the death records, couldn't find him. Then one day, they discovered the twin brother is a mayor in a city. Mayor has done well for himself. They went looking for the guy. They said, excuse me, what is happening? Then the guy said, you don't know my father. He was a wicked man. Maltreat my mother. In fact, my mom died out of the maltreatment. He used to beat us black and blue. With a father like that, what do you expect? So two people born in the same house, but yet the achievement is different based on determination. So what I'm trying to say is that there are two things that make us nature and nurture. Nature and nurture. We're a product of our nature, but we're also a product of our nurture. You see, and your nurture does not need to mean only your family. You can nurture yourself. You can change yourself. You can get better. So make up your mind. You won't repeat the mistake of the former family, and make up your mind to do better, to leave a better legacy for the people coming. I think that's very important.
That's key. That's very good. Now,
Yes,
I
sir.
want us to use some of the time that we have left to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about the economy of the family, because
Yes, sir.
over this time that we have been in lockdown, and as a result of this, I mean, this COVID-19 shakings and crisis,
Yes, sir.
the economy of the family has been rocked. People have
Yes,
lost
sir.
their job. Some people have lost their businesses. People are not sure whether they're going back to work. And there's a lot of fear and trepidation out there. People have also lost loved ones, you know.
Yeah.
What will you say if a family is sitting down now and talking about how do we rescue our finances, our economy? What should we be doing? What will you say to them, Dr. Albert?
Beautiful. Number one, I'm going to say to them what George Washington said during the war. George Washington said, in times like these, always remember there had always been times like this. In times like this, always remember there had always been times like this. So don't worry. We've had this situation before. We came out of it. We are coming out of this one too. Put that to your mind. Number two, we said to them, the word of Robert Schuller. Robert Schuller said, tough times never last, but tough people do.
Yeah.
You will survive the pandemic.
Amen.
Tough times does not last. Tough people do. Be strong. Number three, I will say to them what Elijah said. Elijah said to the widow, what do you have in the house?
Yes.
There must be, God will never leave you without something. Look around you. What can you do? You lost your job, but you have a car. That is Uber. That is money.
Yes.
That is money.
Yes.
You lost your job, but you have a good house and you are a mother and you are good at nurturing. Go and do courses for daycare. You already have a daycare available. So I'm trying to say what the prophet said to the woman. He said, what do you have in your house? So they should look in their house. There must be a way out. There must be something in their house that can become money for them. And you see, this is a very strange world now. Strange world. Before, you have clothes in your wardrobe, you have a sofa at home, you have things at home that you don't need and you don't know what to do with them. Right now, there's what is called Facebook Marketplace among many. That you can put it there that this sofa is for sale. You can put it there that this artifact. So there are so many things in your house that is money. You are sleeping on money, eating around money, walking around money while you remain broke. That's what I'm going to say to them.
You know, Dr. Albert, there was a story of a lady that I had who used to work in the city. And when the lockdown started, of course, she started working at home. And then she looked into her wardrobe one day. She saw skirt suit, trouser suit that she has bought. And they have told her from work that you are going to be working from home from now.
From now.
She opened a shop on Facebook to start selling her clothes. Do you know now she's shutting down, she's resigning her job because all her friends are now giving her their own clothes to sell for them. So she says she wants to do it full time.
Full time. That's what I'm saying. So if they look around them, there is money everywhere.
Yes, yes. So in a nutshell, people should look at how they can reinvent themselves and look inwardly to what they can do.
They can do.
You know, another beautiful idea, somebody who is a photographer who used to take photographs and during the lockdown came up with an idea to say he will send ideas to people who have pets. And then he would take the picture of their pets and develop it into a game, into a game for them so that they can make it and a personal thing. So the family can have the pets game.
Oh, excellent. Wow, awesome.
Yeah. So now I want us to zero in as we begin to end. We have just 15 more minutes before we round up this session. Children, when we talk about parenting, and Dr. Albert, I know you have wonderful, fantastic children who God has blessed you with, you know, awesome. You mentioned Barbara earlier on, who is 21. What is the role of raising or of parents in raising up godly, trustworthy, energetic, resourceful children? What should be the key in our minds?
Beautiful. I believe that next to being a husband to my wife, my next most important job is being a parent to my children. I'm a lot of things, as you know. I'm an author, international conference speaker, presiding pastor, church planter. All that one pales when it comes to me being a good husband and being a good father.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to raise a future generation. So what we need to do is, number one, we cooperate with God. Number two, we raise each child based on their own innate ability. Children are different, and we can't raise them the same way.
Yes.
The way I raise Barbara is not the way I'm raising Dabiara. The way I'm raising Dabiara is not the way I'm raising Debara. They are just very, very different. So I'm going to say to parents, study your children. Study your children more than you study for a degree. Study your children more than you study for a job interview. Study your children and meet their needs. Like I said, it's unmet expectation. Somebody said to me, you travel a lot, but your children still love you, they still believe in you, and you are not there sometimes. So how did that happen? I said, because I find out what their expectation is. I do what that the expectation of PP is not the expectation of Dabiara, it's not the expectation of Debara. I try to meet everybody at the point of the expectation, and it's very, very important. I want to say to parents, it's more difficult in these days to raise children because the internet is trying to raise them one way, the community is trying to raise them one way, school is trying to raise them one way, but notwithstanding, you are the strongest voice in their life. You must have a vision of God's plan for their life so you can lead them in that direction. That's what I think parents should understand and parents should do.
You know, if a family told us this in our church and said one of the things that this lockdown has done for them was to be able to reclaim their children
back
and reset their mind from everything.
That's a beautiful one.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And I think that is amazing because now you have them 24/7, no distraction, nobody to query you.
No
the government is busy. Yes.
No
Fantastic.
competition, no peer pressure.
No peer
it's
pressure.
You and them now. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when we talk about children and technology, how do we help children? Technology is good, but how do we make sure that technology does not maybe is it steal them away, or what do we do?
Beautiful. Children, number one, follows what parents do. If a parent is always on TV and technology, don't blame them. So a family must have a time that we all shut down technology totally to have our me time. Just like an individual needs to do the same thing. You need a time of reflection. You see, the world has become so noisy with information. I told people, for example, so many people had watched COVID-19 so much that when they sneeze, they're sneezing COVID-19. I said, stop watching what you don't want. Stop watching what you don't want. In fact, most of us don't know what we need to know about COVID-19. Yes. So what I'm going to say to parents, number one, get interested. My wife has done an amazing job with my children. Whatever program they're watching, she's watching it with them. So, Dr. Tony Osebene, thank you so much, from Ohio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, my wife has made sure that whatever the children are watching on TV, she's part of it with them.
Yes.
Whatever they're watching on YouTube, she becomes. So, what I'm going to tell parents is this. Your parenting stops when your kids become teens. You have to become a friend. A friend that they can talk to, a friend that they can confide in, especially we of the Black community. Our problem is that our kids are not free to talk to us. So your kids want to tell you something and say, the day my own daughter came to me, she was just barely 13 and told me she had a crush on the boy. I wanted to crush her and crush the boy. but if you do that, that is the last you will hear.
That is the end of it.
So I was like, okay, that's okay. Instead of that, I was like, some of our own parents missed it.
Yes.
So your parenting and daddy and mommy, it stops at 12.
Yes.
From 13, you become a friend. From 21, you become a student. It's called reverse parenting. You and I know now that it is Dawa and Co that is teaching you all these things you are doing.
I surrender.
And that means, so it becomes reverse parenting.
Yes.
They start to tell you, Daddy, where are you going? I'm going to the office. You can't dress like that.
Yes. Yes.
You are telling me I can't dress. Oh, no, you can't dress like that. So that is the progression. You parent till 12 and give them a good foundation.
Yes.
From 13, you become a friend. Then from 21, it's reverse parenting.
Become a student.
You become a student. They start telling you how to talk. They start teaching you slangs. They start explaining to you that bad means good. I could have believed that. You say, Daddy, that your program is bad. They know that means it's too good.
They said it's sick. They said it's sick.
It's sick. You say sick. You're getting it. So, you see, that is the only way we will reach this generation. Because we have to reach this generation in a language they understand.
Yeah.
We can't speak our language to them to reach them. We have to learn their language to speak it to them. So what I'm going to say with parenting affects everything, including technology and everything. Become their friend. When you become their friend, you see what they're saying, you watch what they're watching, and you can be able to move. When I was doing an interview with Barbara said the fact that the mom watched Jumong with them when they were young. Jumong is a South Korean war film.
Yes.
But they're watching, the mom is interpreting it into scriptures. She said it gave them a very solid foundation.
Wow, wow.
Yes, thank you, Pastor Jerry. Now they're saying, Mado.
Dr. Albert, there is I heard the statistics from the police here in the UK that as the lockdown is beginning to get relaxed, they are preparing for what they term a possible clashes of gangs, because over the time that the lockdown has been going on, gangs have been touting themselves on the social media, and then they have said that once the lockdown is over, it's going to be pressure time. Now, what will you say to us? Because I know you're very familiar with the UK community. What do you want to say if you have to sit in front of the police chief? What would you say to him?
I'm going to say to the police chief that we don't stop violence with violence. We stop violence with reformation. The first thing is the fact that to stop gang in UK, let's start from people that will be parents tomorrow. It is a product of lack of a solid community. It's also a product of the fact that we put a lot of money in library, which is good, but we should start to have game centers. You have to have sports and arenas where the youth can exert their energy.
Youth centers.
Youth centers. We church needs to do that also. We need to build churches that can also be youth centers, where these people can come and get reform and exert their energy and make it work. But for the police chief, I know they have a daunting task, but meeting violence with violence will not work much. They need to engage the gang leaders. They need to have a meeting with them. They need to engage them. It's like we say in Africa, the best way to stop armed robbery in an area is to look for the head of the armed robbery gang and employ him to defend the place. So get the head of the gangs. They are the one you should work with.
Yes.
And it's going to work out better.
Yes. Fantastic. 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 Well, thank you very, very much, Dr. Albert. I would like to just ask you this closing question because I want you to pray for us, pray for families, pray for marriages, pray for a relationship. I want to ask you, if we were to ask what will keep the community strong, healthy, and productive, what will you say that we should do to keep the community healthy, strong, and productive, economically and otherwise?
Jesus told us what to do. Number one, He said, do unto others as you want them to do to you. Number 2, love God. But this is what I'm going to say to everybody. In a community, if I think of you as I think of myself, it will be better. We should not be selfish. Self-centeredness is what is killing the world. So what we should do is to care for one another. Before you do something, before you mess up somebody's house, your landlord's house, think, if I'm the landlord, will I want this? Before you do something inside the Uber, you say to yourself, if it's my dad driving the Uber, how will I feel? The way that will also affect our economy is the fact that once you yourself give value, like you want to receive value, people will look for you. You see, it is value that you give that makes you valuable.
The value you give makes you valuable. Thank you.
I mean, I tell people, you want a job, can you employ yourself? Yeah. You yourself, if you are the one to employ, will you employ you? You want to marry, will you say yes to yourself?
Oh dear.
So the reason why a lot of people are in economic challenges is because the quality of what they're producing is not enough. So I'm going to say to everybody, let's add value to ourselves. And the way to add value to ourselves is to think like this. Every other person on the road, what do they want? I'm a speaker, for example. And I said to myself, what will make me listen to somebody for 1 hour? If the person is not going to give me value, I will walk through the back door.
Yeah.
You know, you said something years ago. You did a series years ago, PT, that you call globalization.
Yes.
Thinking global, working local. That's where it starts from. So you think of yourself, me as a person, what kind of shirt do I want to wear? That will determine the kind you make.
Absolutely.
So if you can think like that, economically, every other way, we'll have a good world.
Excellent. Wow. Thank you very much. It's been, it's 1 hour already.
Already.
Please.
Flies.
I want you to please pray for us. Pray for families, pray for relationship, and then we will see how it goes from there. Really want to appreciate you for the time you spent for us today.
Thank you, PT. I just want to say before I pray that our life can never be void of prayer. If you have been alive a while, you know that you get to a point that you need an higher power to help you out with some things. And in this case, we need God. Our answered prayer is not because we know how to pray. It's because God has a way of answering prayer. And that is why I want us to pray together. Father, thank you. We thank you, Lord, for the fact that we know you love us. No matter what we do, we can always count on you. Thank you, Lord, for PT. Thank you, Lord, for this platform. Thank you, Lord, for the hundreds of people that have been blessed and will be blessed by this discussion. Thank you, Lord, for Kingsborough, UK. Thank you, Lord, for the Balogun's family. Thank you, Lord, for every family that is connected to everybody that is watching us. We pray and we prophesy. Let there be peace in their lives in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
We are far apart. The only connecting factor is you. You are where we are, every one of us. Touch us where we ought most in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Only you know these prayer points we don't share. The aches we don't discuss. The issues we don't even go for counsel for. I pray in the name of Jesus that you will touch everybody where they are hurting and let there be peace all around. We pray for the world. Let there be recovery. Let there be the healing of the nations. We give you praise and glory, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. Albert.
Thank you so much,
Really
PT.
appreciate
I celebrate you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
fantastic time. And we'll talk to you
you.
again. We're expecting you in London soon.
So once the lockdown is over, I've missed you. Miss everybody.
Bye.
You know, looking forward to it. Bye, sir.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being with us today. Next week, we're going to be having our 5th edition. 2 more editions before we finish. Next, we're going to be having what is it that makes prayer become fashionable again? Prayer has become so fashionable. We're going to be looking at what has made prayer become fashionable. I'm going to be having in the studio the CEO of NPN, that is Neighborhood Prayer Network from Wales, who's going to be joining us, Carl Brittle, joining us next week. I'll hope to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a wonderful time tonight. Thank you so much, Dr. Albert. And I want to thank you all for tuning in and being with us on this platform. I really appreciate you. We'll have this on our